Yeah, I can live with that.
Do you have another Reifenbog in your minutes?
No, I have a Wemby. I have a Wemby.
A Wemby? Oh,
Yeah.
I've done Reifenbog before.
I like the Reifenbog.
I think it was me, remember? It was all me.
Oh,
Right
you
from
were
birth.
actually.
I was spelling my own name wrong. Okay.
All he wants to do is put his, police department in there, instead of just Jason. Head police department. And then,
You don't fix what ain't broke.
well,
You talked
It
about
hasn't
wanting not to go back to the lawyer. I do not believe we should do that unless we check.
Oh, I wouldn't do anything on a
No.
local law.
No.
I don't even know how we change a local law.
The local law.
With another local law to override the last local law to,
Or to amend.
and then we gotta have,
amend.
and then we
So are
gotta
we
have a
talking about
public.
our law or that law?
Okay, it's
That's
6
law.
o'clock.
Okay.
That's our law.
Okay.
Okay, I want to call October 15th meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Okay, I'm gonna open the meeting with public discussion, and we're gonna start with Dale Utter. Mr. Utter has brought us he's trying to get a sign that's gonna be by a grant to put in the Huntsville Cemetery. We do believe it's a banded one that we mow. We're correct on that?
Yep.
And, what was the grant? I forget the name of the grant that you're getting the money from.
William G. Pomeroy Foundation.
Okay,
They're the ones that do the blue and yellow historical markers you see along the road.
okay.
This is another program of theirs.
And,
They out of Bainbridge?
What's that?
Are they out of Bainbridge?
They're out of Syracuse.
Seriously, okay.
okay, so he needs the town to write a letter. He gave us a sample on the flyer, which I really, really appreciate it. I just gotta do it on a business head and sign it. And then I can email it back to you?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay. It's no cost to the town. The only thing I did want to ask you, do you want help placing it from our highway guys?
That'd be fine. I'm used to doing it. I got
Okay.
a dig
You've
a
done
hole
other
36 inches deep, about 10 inches.
Okay, so nothing you have to worry about, Jason. But he needs a letter so he can apply for the grant to get the monies to get the sign order, correct? Am I correct on saying?
Right, once I fill the application out, send it in, it usually gets approved pretty quickly, but one of the requirements is the letter of permission for the sign to go on
The thing.
your property.
So now that being said, does anybody oppose, I'm gonna make a motion that we approve this.
I just have one question. What's the actual name of this cemetery? Because don't call it the Holmesville Cemetery, because that's already part of what is called the Holmesville Cemetery on both sides of the road.
The first cemetery.
I believe so.
No,
And
you-
it's called Riverside something, but there's Holmesville in there too, so I'm not sure. I'm not
So
sure.
We
I'm
need
just
to
not
find
sure.
out, do you know what the name of that? You were just gonna call it Holmesville Cemetery.
Yeah, that's usually what in my introduction letter, I asked the town supervisor if that's the correct name.
Yeah, and see, I don't know where it's
And I
one
don't
we
either.
mow down on Route 8 in Holmesville.
Mhm.
It's not, it's only on one side of the road, right?
Right,
And there was no sign there.
So, okay, that's the one just as you come into Holmesville on the left.
Right.
Yes. So it probably is. And you're the supervisor, so you can.
But what, the one that you donate to that has the association, do
I've
you
been
know,
thinking about that, and I
do you
will
think it has
correct
a different?
myself. I believe it's Riverside.
Riverside.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one is
Yeah,
Riverside.
we have a lot
I
of-
recently
Okay.
was there to,
So every,
so.
They're all together then too, right? Across, even though they're across the road.
Even though they're
same.
across the road from each
Same.
other. But the one he's talking about,
Yep.
right there next to that double wide, as you go into Holmesville, on the left.
next time I drive down, and we do mow that.
Sure.
So it's definitely abandoned, no one's taking care of it at the town?
Sure.
Okay, all right, so I'm
Yeah, the other
fine.
one
Is
is-
everybody in agreement with Holmesville Cemetery?
I put some flags in there for a suggested location. It's back from the fence about 77 inches,
Right,
a little less than 7 feet back from the fence inside the cemetery, and about 6 feet from the nearest gravestone. There's some flags there.
okay, so that being said, that Route
That's
8,
inside the fence, right?
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. So you're,
so does that, do we need to go through the planning board with the Route 8 DOT?
I don't think so, because that fence is, you know,
It's up on the property.
And
Up-
like, and
it's at
I'm
least-
assuming are you gonna be facing it so they can read it? Is it gonna be a double sign or just
But
one
double sign so it can be read coming from either direction.
direction? So it'll be facing this
And if
way.
it's inside that fence.
If it's inside it, it's way off the
road. It's not even, it's up on the hill.
And
Oh.
it's in line with one of the gravestones, or probably that
Yeah,
first line of
perfect.
gravestone, so.
Okay,
But
If
we
this-
never seen those signs that they have like in front of St. Andrews.
Yeah.
all right, so I'm gonna make a motion that, the board, sends a letter on behalf of the town so that they can apply for the application to get this sign on the cemetery. Can I get a second?
I second.
April? All in favor? Aye. Okay, I will get this, thank you for the draft. I'll get it to you, I'll email it to you, and,
That's great.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah,
Very
that's,
nice.
Yeah.
It is very nice.
there's a lot of abandoned cemeteries.
It's nice
Yeah.
to see something.
What brought you to that cemetery to take care of it like that?
He's been doing a lot of them.
That's a long story. This
Make
is
it
like,
short.
this is like our 20th Pomeroy sign, and we're focusing on cemeteries that don't have a sign
Yeah.
that identifies them with a name. My wife and I do historical cemetery, gravestone preservation work a lot. We're both from Shenango County, but we drive by that one all the time. There's no sign.
It's
So,
nice.
we put it at the top of our list.
That'd be lovely.
So I don't need to do this then, right? Okay, super.
You wanna give it back? to
Yeah,
me?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay,
just
for
look
me.
it up.
Yeah, I'm like, one less
Okay,
thing I
great.
gotta do.
Okay,
You're next.
so I'm gonna sneak out of here.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry for the confusion.
No problem. Just glad to get it taken care
All
of.
right, thanks, Mr.
Thanks a lot.
Utter.
Have a good night.
My name is Doug Wilson. I live at 171 West Shore Road, Shenango Lake, which is about halfway down the road from County Road 31. I want to, first of all, thank the Highway Department and the town for the work they've done up there. I can't tell you how effective it is because we haven't had enough rain yet.
Yeah.
Need a lot of rain to make the culverts work. But,
Yeah.
the fact that they did it, and they did it with as little disruption as they could, I think. It was hard for a few days, but it's successful, I think, and thank you. What I'm here for is what I was here for about 4 or 5 years ago
The speed limit?
with speed control on West Shore Road. After my meeting here, from which I presented a petition of over 50 signatures of residents, either seasonal or permanent, along West Shore Road. Everybody on the list was West Shore Road. I left the meeting here and I went to Senator Jim Seward and Cliff Crouch, who were our legislators at the time. And they both agreed to take up the issue. Cliff Crouch is retired and Jim Seward has passed away, as you know. Joe Angelino took up the cause. And I've had discussions with Joe. I've known Joe most of my life, but Joe said, and you probably are all well aware of this, Joe's a Republican in a Democratic-controlled legislature. When the bill, such as was put through for towns to be able to regulate speeds on their own roads, the Transportation Committee takes it over. And their fear, according to Joe Angelino, is that the town of New Berlin, as an example, would take a town road, set a lower than normal speed limit, so they could give out tickets and raise funds that would create a speed trap, if you will. So it never makes it out of committee. And I approached him about, Two or three.
I'm sorry for laughing, but that's comical because we don't get to keep all the fine money goes to New York State.
And that particular road, you really, you need to be
know?
going slow. I go up and down that road several times.
I drove on 3 town roads to get over here tonight, and none of them have speed limits on them. So, that, I guess, means the speed limit is 55 miles per hour, which is what West Shore Road is. There's some 43 to 44 residences on a 6/10 of a mile long dead end road, which is West Shore Road.
Right.
In July, it is extremely busy. Not so much car traffic, but people traffic, bicycle traffic,
Right.
go-kart traffic, mini bike traffic. There used to be horse traffic when I was younger. They'd ride over from the HRD and go up and down the road.
Did we ever put the, like, suggested the yellow 30-mile?
There's yellow signs all up and down the road that are suggested speeds,
Right, right.
and they're 15 miles per hour.
Right.
We have 2 retired state troopers on the road, Mike Lehman and Tim Hagan. And they both say the speed limit should be no more than 15 miles per hour. But it has to be a white and black sign. It doesn't look like you are gonna be able to do that.
Right, yeah.
And I've come to you basically to ask your help. Last year, you put up a speed indicator sign,
Yes,
was battery powered, and the battery ran out twice.
yeah, those.
And I would text Roy Stockwell, I go, the battery's dead again, Roy.
Yeah.
And, you know, they put new batteries in it, but the location that it was put was not, in my opinion, not good. They put it right at the head of one of the sharpest turns, probably the sharpest turn on the road. Nobody's speeding there anyways. There's a section that happens to go in front of my house that's fairly straight. And that's where, and a lot of times it's the FedEx driver, the UPS driver, the postal driver, the garbage men, and not to exclude several residents that live there, that there's been several close calls.
Mhm.
Joe Angelino, 3 weeks ago, I approached him again and I said, how about a law that would allow towns to make speed limits on dead end roads only? And he goes, and he went through the state transportation thing, and he said, they're gonna say, has anyone been killed there? And I
Right,
said,
they do a
is
study.
that what it takes, Joe?
And it's
Yeah,
what it takes.
That's what it takes to
That's
get
what it
a
takes.
And then he
light
said-
or a stop
Right,
sign.
but wasn't there a school bus accident on that road last year?
School buses don't come down West Shore Road. They're on 31, but they don't come down.
Are you
West
sure
Shore.
they don't go down there? Because
Never seen one.
I
I've been
think
up
they
there.
go all the way down to the dead end, to the last house at that, on West, I'm pretty sure it's West. And they turn around in their driveway and come back through.
I've
So
been-
they're using it as a turnaround, not
I
necessarily.
believe they are. There's a young girl that goes.
You live on West Shore, right?
Yeah, I've been up there 68 years.
You've never seen a bus?
I've never seen a school.
I'll have to follow up, but I'm fairly
There
certain.
is a, what you might refer to as a cul-de-sac at the end of West Shore Road, which is actually owned by the city of Norwich. It's where the right of way goes for the water department. I'm on the water department.
Okay, yeah, maybe that's,
The second thing Joe asked me, he said, how many tickets have been issued? It's almost impossible to issue a ticket, Joe, because the speed limit is 55 miles per hour. So what I would like to see, and I don't know if it's possible, you have a beautiful speed indicator sign coming into New Berlin.
Yeah, that
It's really
one,
polite, you know, it
is-
says you're speeding,
Yeah.
and then when it goes green, it says thank you.
Yeah.
We need 2 of those. We need one going
Is-
in each direction.
is the one that you have up, is that still up there? Did they take, he took it down?
Never went up this year.
Yeah, I just made a note that that needs to be put up by Memorial Day of 2000.
But if they could move it,
That one that we have on 29 is powered by solar. So these things are not cheap, I will tell you that. And I don't know if we can get an adapter to make that one solar to get it back up there, but I will find out. And the village was supposed to buy 2 also, because that one's ours and it's in the village, and they were supposed to buy 2, and it was supposed to be done last year. It still hasn't been done, so that we could take that one back out of the village, and the village would have 2 in town, and we could take our 2 and place them.
the county sheriff put their white I don't know if you've seen the white one.
On a trailer, we don't have one with a trailer.
They
yet.
put it up there last summer, almost in front of my house, in front of my neighbor's house. And it had a good effect,
It did,
and it was right on the straightaway.
okay.
But if there was an indicator at each end of the straightaway facing opposite directions, I think it would go a long way. And the second thing I would ask is if the town of New Berlin police officer could go up. I mean, I've seen, I think it's a she, am I correct?
During the day, yes.
She goes up and she's patrolled, I've seen her, and that's great. I'd love her to sit there and just give people a few warnings,
Okay.
you know, and say, you know, you gotta sit there for a while sometimes, and right now, the traffic has calmed down because it's going into fall. And,
But you're talking like before Memorial, like beginning of May to end of
Memorial Day to
September,
Labor Day is
till
the
end of September.
busiest time, so the
Okay.
beginning of May and the end of September would be ideal. But it's during the winter, I sit in my living room and I can see the road.
Okay.
I mean, I would
Well, I-
estimate 40 miles an hour.
So
people.
might not.
I think maybe one would be efficient going in, because they know it's there. On the way out, they know it's coming out, the indicator that tells them that. You know,
I think you're right, but it seems to me that they go faster going out.
Oh, maybe it's gotta go the other way.
I don't
Would,
know why, but,
Now, you said there's children that play up in there?
I have a
Young children, no?
I have a 6-year-old granddaughter who comes to visit
Now,
3, 4, 5 times a year.
would, children that play?
Oh my
signs be
God,
help?
my neighbors are a little bit older.
They would
now,
help,
but
I mean,
They
it
used
help
to
them slow
play
down.
pickle in the middle in the road all the time. They play that game Can Jam with Frisbee. They're in the road all the time.
Maybe if we put a sign, you know, children that play.
Those signs are up there also.
They
So
are,
they are.
Yes.
already.
You gotta kind of look for them,
Yeah.
and they do go in both directions, but they're gold signs. And if you know,
They're hard to see, you mean, or they're just?
no, but those are.
They're hard
those
to
are-
enforce, they're
Yeah, they're the
suggestions.
they're
They're
suggested.
not speed limits,
Yeah,
they're
Yeah, I know.
they're suggested that you take
suggestions,
that.
I guess.
So,
But if you had a suggested sign that blinked
yeah,
over 15 miles per hour with the 15-mile-an-hour
Yeah.
sign
that
underneath,
would slow them
I
down.
think that would, but it's gotta be solar powered. We have plenty of sun.
Yeah, the battery one we know did not work out, and we
Well-
only have 2 of them because they are expensive, but we can try to see if we can get solar to adapt.
Well, we talked.
Speaking out of school, I'm not on the board of the lake owners, but the lake owners have some money. And they might be able to contribute to something. I
Make a
can't say,
donation.
my wife is on the board, but
Yeah,
I can't say they would.
let me get a price and find out, what's your, number? Doug?
607-226-0328.
Let me get a price on one or on the part that, to make it solar,
I mean,
it's
if the
adaptable.
town would buy one and the lake owners buy one.
Yeah, we got a couple.
I mean, my granddaughter's 6. The first thing she wants to do when she comes from Virginia is
Right.
run across the road to the water.
Uh,
And after the first 5 residences, everybody has to cross the road to get to
to
the
the
water.
water,
A
okay.
few years ago, almost 100-year-old Betty Reed used to take her walker across the road. And it can be challenging up
Yeah.
there, especially during the summer.
Summer years.
I definitely,
So
okay,
thank you for letting me,
thank you, Doug, appreciate it, and thank you,
And,
and I'll
if I
introduce
can
you,
help you
that's.
with cemetery information.
Hey, don't even get, I might put you on a board.
The cemetery that's just south of Berlin is Riverside, and it is on
Right.
both sides
It
of
is.
the road.
Okay, and Doug, that is our new superintendent of highways, Jason Joyce, so.
I've seen you up there.
Yes, sir.
You probably plow my road in the wintertime. and
I have not yet, but I will be this year.
Be careful of my mailbox.
I hope.
That's up to 12 years and they finally got my mailbox.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure they all are, could get hit.
I texted Roy, I go, who's responsible? The homeowner, he said, it's no plow, he said, the right
Right.
way.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you very much, have a good evening.
You too.
Okay, no public, but can I just skip, because he's gotta take his wife out to dinner, she's waiting in the truck. So I'm gonna
Wasn't
put,
trying to push the.
no. We're
If
gonna
she were in
go,
here, it would sound great, but you know.
Yeah, you had no brownie
I
points
invited
at
her in.
this
She didn't
point.
come in.
yeah, she didn't want to be appointed to a position. That's why she didn't come in. All right, so if you don't know, this is Chuck Miller. He's on the CDLF loan committee, okay? He's actually the president of it.
Yes, I know. We have had 2 applicants for loans, finally. The committee met to go through the applications and all the information that was given to us. And there were a lot of questions. It was the first time to deal with it, so I went back and asked a lot of questions of the people who applied. And then we voted on it by email, because there's no sense in having, we went through a lot for over an hour and a half down to the last meeting. We'll have another meeting later this month where we're going to discuss rates for next year.
Okay.
But and for the moment, I guess I'll just call it A and B as far as the 2 people apply, so we don't have any problems with mentioning their names in public. Applicant A lives up on, or has a place on West Shore Road. And what they applied for was a loan to pay for, or just a partial part of paying for a new breakwater, which they had one there, it's worn out, it's gone. And she had a quote to put it in, which is $35,000 through a local contractor. One of the questions we got into with her was nothing to do with financing. The property is owned, there's no mortgage on that property, there's a mortgage on property in Florida. But it was relative to the fact that the city of Norwich obviously owns the water rights. You gotta make sure there isn't anything there that's gonna create a problem. So the city approved it based on the fact that it was breakwater there before, so it can be replaced. And they had to wait till the water level gets dropped, which I guess is just being done. But it is done, so, yeah. She's already headed back to Florida just the other day, and as I told her, what we will do here, once the board, if they make the approval on this, we'll take their mailing for the documents to sign and send them back. And what the other thing that the board or committee had agreed to do is we believe we should pay directly to the contractors for these loans, rather than getting into an issue of, especially if you get something that could be out of town.
Yeah.
And so that's already been explained, no problem there. So she would end up signing the contracts, shipping back to us, and then we would pay as necessary. I think she'd already put a deposit with the contractors for $35,000, so they had to order the blocks to go in, and they won't even be here for another month at this point. So once we've got everything handled there, and the only amount we limited to $15,000 on the loan amounts, so that's what the limit is here. She asked if she could get more, why? Because the rate was so low. Sure, she could, but she's got the money too to pay it, so it's not an issue of not being able to afford to do the balance of that. So everything from her perspective, everything we've had in paperwork and showing what her financial situation is, that this one is a no-brainer as far as approval from our committee side. So that was approved here by email the other day.
And that was A, right?
That's it.
That's it. And that's for 15.
On loan number B, we'll call, they had come to us looking for a new roof on the home. We had a lot of questions because we didn't have a lot of history on these people. They had just moved in, they just financed the house. And quite honestly, one of the things that concerned me and the committee was that the roofing contractor that he was getting quotes from was from Newton, Poughkeepsie. And so I really had a concern there, and they pointed out they're not from the area, they just moved in. And their insurance agent told them to use this guy. Well, I said, I'll give you some names to call, and I advise you just to get some other quotes. It's not that we're going to, we just like to see multiple quotes anyways.
Sure.
And it's probably gonna be a little bit more money, but then again, what they were trying to do is they're looking to eventually put solar on the roof, and they can't do it, obviously, with the roof in the condition it's in. I've seen the roof, it's terrible. So they went to Alpine, and I was surprised Alpine could respond as quick as they did. They were there within a week. And their quote was, yes, more money. But they originally asked us for $12,000. The $12,000 they asked for, as I looked at it, was partially for the roof, partially for some other work to do, partially doing themselves. And on their septic system, it wasn't even to repair. There was some issues on the cap of the septic system that might have to be replaced. But I said, you know, what we're looking at, we're going to pump a septic system, we're going to roll out for that. Their financial situation was such that we only had a short history on it, so I had to go back and request 3 years worth of work history from them to get it supplied to me. Got the credit scores. Everything really ended up looking much better than we initially thought, looking at things. And I asked them to redo the application to lower the amount, because they had asked for $12,000 basically for this. And I said, you know, there is always going to be a situation on roofs that there may be more cost than what the quote was. The quote in this case was about $8,700. And what they said, depending on how much damage is underneath, what they got to deal with.
Right.
They're going to put a steel roof over the top, but you still have to make sure you got
Something to nail it to.
solid solid nail to it.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's screwed to it. So that's, and we did get some information down Alpine, and what they normally said, this would probably be run about $2,000 more money in addition. Yeah, that's not a lot of money, you know. So they reapplied for $10,025.